Hi, everybody. Welcome once again to our time together here. We're going to spend the next few minutes talking about topics that are pertinent, that are important, that are going to help you or your relationship improve. So we're excited to be here with you.
And as an individual, we're going to talk about codependence today. And that is such a huge thing nowadays. And Jorge, you know what? It's important to put it in context. People talk about codependency, and many times they relate it to addiction issues. Because the first studies and the first things and the first times that the topic began was really around people that were abusing alcohol, and their families became codependent, and that kind of things. But
and that's legit.
Yes,
you can create a codependency from a substance.
Yes.
From drugs, alcohol, whatever. Yeah, it is.
And your family can become codependent in enabling situations. Correct. And in contributing in someone not recovering. But we're going to take it into the relationships concept, and we're going to talk about how a relationship, even without having any other issues, addiction issues, or that kind of background, can become unhealthy because there is an issue of codependency among them.
But let's understand codependency then. Codependency is to be very needy. It's a person that is also known as needy. Is dependent on someone else. It becomes almost like I cannot perform, operate, or do anything away from somebody else. In this case, we're talking about relationships.
Yes.
So codependency is going to be very much defined by the need to be approved or be consented by, like every move, everything you do have to be validated by the other person.
And then that is going to be fed, that is going to be nurtured or not by the person in the relationship. When you become needy and when you become demanding and when you become someone that needs of me for things that you should not need me for, and I feed into that, I become part of that cycle.
I think this is like a match, Danisa. I feel that typically when you have these kind of conditions, these situations within the relationship, there's that person that is needy, that is needing all that, approval and all that from the other person. But there's also that other person that feels empowered by what that needy person is giving them.
Yes, and that is the problem.
It's like you're giving them a right. You're giving them a right to speak and to make decisions and to do everything through me. Like, it's like you totally lose your independence.
Because there's a need to be needed, to be useful, to be, and we put it in the wrong context. So you need me, and then I become your rescuer. I become the savior. And there we are, two parasites feeding off each other. Like a cycle, and I know some people are going to be offended by me saying two parasites, but it just exemplifies what happened at the cell level. It's like I have a need and you feed it. I have a need and you feed it. And feeding my need feeds your need to be needed and to be able to be the one that is doing the things, to be the provider, to be the facilitator.
So interesting.
And yes, so many people feel that is actually being a perfect match because you have a need, I have a need, and we both meet those needs. And it sounds like, yes, it's a perfect match, but it's a perfect match for disaster.
I want to actually take it to the role of the male, just for a moment. We have a few minutes left. Let me just take it to the role of the male. We often work with couples, right? That's what we do full time, 24/7. But I often work individually with the guys, and something that I've seen, Danisa, happen, like a big pattern in our behavior is like we want to be that rescuer. We want to provide that. We want to provide probably more than we are called to. Like as males, we don't have to be saviors. We don't have to, because there's some things that we cannot ever provide for our couples.
I tell people, I don't need no savior. I already have one.
Well, but you want to become that,
yes,
the white, the prince, like,
and the white horse,
white horse, coming with the sword to rescue, the princess. So it becomes like almost like a tendency in every area of our lives.
And there's an aspect of that, Jorge, that is valid and that is beautiful and that is good.
That we want to preserve it, right?
Most women have a need to feel safe, to feel stability. And that is something beautiful. When that becomes distorted is when that is your life mission and the person is not contributing into the relationship. So the difference between a relationship that is dependent, which is a good, healthy relationship, is when you are okay in the relationship and I'm okay in the relationship, when I value you the same way that you value me, meaning your voice, what you bring, who you are, is a part of our relationship the same way that who I am, my voice, and what I bring does into the relationship. So we both come to that place. It's not that I stayed here and you're the one that provides everything, or you stay here and I'm the one that provides everything. That creates a codependency cycle. But when we're both coming and we're both contributing and we're both intertwining, that is a healthy environment. That is a healthy exchange in that place.
So I think there's some healthy ways to start breaking those cycles. You think about someone that is so codependent. Even identifying that they are going through that situation, that they have that condition, what would be some of the things they can do to start breaking the cycle? Because it's like a cycle.
Yes. And we do go deeper into this, into the e-course that we've created. We've created an e-course that covers codependency, covers boundaries, covers attachment issues, one entire course. So you can dive deeper there and be able to identify where you're at and the things that you need to take action on immediately. Because this is one of the killers, not only of relationships, but of individuality. Because you lose yourself into either, if you are the one needy, you lose yourself, you lose the ability to become a problem solver for yourself.
Well, you lose the freedom to be yourself.
Yes, and so does the other one, the enabler. True. Also loses the opportunity to invest in things that are bigger in life.
And it also creates a fear-based atmosphere, which is so unhealthy for anyone. I think the fact that you have to please, you have to be attentive to their voices or their voice, for that matter, it can create a lot of stress.
Well, and when I feel worthless because I'm not providing something for you, then my meaning is becoming attached to you. And it's not becoming because I'm a productive human, someone that contributes to society, to other people, to other relationships. When it becomes, all my worth becomes from what I do for you, then I become a slave to pleasing you and enabling what your needs are. So, again, people confuse having a good dynamic where I do provide. We're not saying that we're not to provide, that we're not to give, but it's got to be a pretty even exchange of meeting your needs and meeting my needs, and even expressing our feelings. There are relationships where my feelings don't count because it's all about your feelings. So we never talk about my feelings. It's always about your feelings, and I'm okay with it because it's all about you.
So in that case, that would be the enabler.
Yes,
like you're enabling that behavior, and you're muting your voice.
Yes,
almost like you're self-sabotaging yourself. I feel you're not giving yourself the opportunity to express what's inside, and you're letting someone else define your feelings, defining your life, for that matter. I think we learned even from Gottman. He suggests everybody should be able to describe their own feelings and their own emotions, and not the feelings or emotions of your partner. Meaning, you all need your own identity. You all need your own independence. You need to be yourself and be okay with that.
Jorge, and one of the things that we see most often happening is that people become angry because they're enabling, the enabler is enabling and is doing things. And then eventually, when they see nothing coming back, they're the victims. but they put themselves in that situation. But I'm a victim. And I did this and I didn't get anything back. And then they're angry and they're resentful. So again, it continues to deteriorate relationships. And it continues to deteriorate your attitude towards even other people that are not part of that system. And the system sometimes becomes so strong, so rooted, that it's very hard to break those habits.
Toxic,
yes, it's very damaging.
But, we strongly recommend to seek help. If you feel that you're trapped in this cycle of codependency, where you have lost your own identity, your own voice in your relationship, just seek professional help. I think it's going to help you identify the root of this evil in your life. I mean, because it is something bad. It's something that is taking life away from you.
Parents, children.
It may come from some history of abuse in your childhood, in any possible way, emotional, spiritual, even sexually, physical, any type of abuse could have taken that right that you have as a human.
But the good news is that we can grow. We can overcome codependence. We can become self-sufficient, healthy, collaborative humans in relationships. So be it that your parents are being codependent or that you are being codependent and you're starting to see, oh, I'm doing some of those things. It may not be all the way to the left, to the right, and you're there's no help for you. But if you're identifying either as the person that is the needy one or as the enabler, then let's get to know the steps that you can take to change those behaviors, not to continue providing for the needs of other people in unhealthy ways that are not helping them become independent. There are ways to help our families with mental illnesses. There are ways to help our families that are struggling with addiction. There are ways to help people that come from a background that is already toxic and damaged. There are ways that we can intervene and help them without becoming part of the toxic, damaging system.
Say no to fear, say yes to freedom. You need that freedom to enjoy the life that is given to you. So you can find a lot more information even about those e-courses in our website. And that's very easy, ccicounseling.com, ccicounseling.com. Go visit that website and you'll be blessed. We know that there's a lot there for you.
We'll see you on the next episode.
Ciao, ciao.